Hello guys, my name is CS2. In this video, I want to talk about how to get to the peak performance in Counter-Strike or esports in general. This video should help you to stay engaged with every single match that you play. I know it's really energetically hard to actually do because obviously you need to give it a lot of attention energy. But when it comes to this will help you to reach flow state really consistently, and mainly it will help you to maximize your potential in every single match. I think this is helping me a lot. It's kind of like a small, simple tip that is obvious but really hard to do actually. If you want a similar content like this, just subscribe on this channel. I'm gonna make a weekly videos on kind of like this mentality in Counter-Strike, and let's go right into it. So if we talk about peak in esports, there is obviously more to it, right? And if you want to maximize fully your potential, you need to have a lot of knowledge about mentality in general. But one of this is having it as a challenge pretty much, and pretty much like challenging yourself. And so today what I want to talk about is what is really important about flow. So if let's say you have kind of like this line right here, and at the start and at the end, and there is a middle, and this middle calls balance, right? At the start there is a boredom, and at the end there is overwhelmed. And what this means is pretty much kind of like a stress level kind of. And so when you're at the boredom, which a lot of people are in a sense when they're playing, so for example when you're playing, you don't feel the intensity, you don't feel like you're trying your best actually, and you know that you can give it your maximum but you just don't give it. And pretty much the problem with this is that you're more like a calm, you're not thinking, you don't have the sharp aim, sharp decisioning, and in general just you're not engaged with the game, and that not allows you to hit a flow properly. While if you're in an overwhelmed state, this is for a lot of people as well, this is when the stress or pressure gets you over, right? And so what it means is that you don't have a control over it, and it just kind of like it just takes control over you, and you start to shake, you start to, I don't know, you know, your hands gonna be shaky, you start to like do really big mistakes, you're gonna pretty much play in fear, and that's not what we want. But then you have a balance, and balance is something that is obviously good in every single way possible, but in this, for example, is not. Balance is something that you pretty much don't have a pressure, you just normally functioning kind of, but you're not like bored in that sense. The thing that we aim for is somewhere right here, okay? And this is a healthy stress. This, I call it healthy stress. So this is when you stress yourself, but in a good way, when you like care about the match, but you taken over of the stress, right? You have a control over the stress, so the stress will not, you will not like shake, you will not play by a fear, you'll be confident, if you obviously are. And then the second thing is that, the most important is that it will give you the benefits of the pressure or stress. What are the benefits? Benefits are that your body gonna produce more adrenaline that makes you faster reflexes, and just in general like being engaged with the game and being like give it a maximum, right? So for example, you can sense it when you're playing some important match, you're gonna play your maximum, but you can also end up in this point as you probably gonna be overwhelmed, and if you end up in this point, this is really bad, right? And so how to have the healthy stress? So what I like to do is that I like to imagine that my base foundation is being fully calm, like really calm and peaceful. And if you think about it, if you're gonna play like this, you're obviously gonna end up in the lowest category, and that's the boredom. And if you're gonna end up there, then obviously you can't perform, as we said, you're not engaged with the game. But if you're gonna have it as a base foundation, and then each round you're gonna kind of like a quote-unquote stress yourself to the point that you're gonna just have the peak performance, that's the peak that you want to hit. You want to be calm, you want to be chill, you want to have control over your gameplay, over your body, and just in general everything. But you also want to a little bit edge it in a sense of you're gonna be more higher than the balance itself, so you're gonna have this kind of like a healthy stress. And so what helps me a lot, and I'm still kind of like testing this because still I don't get it consistently, maybe you can talk in comments down below and discuss it. what, for example, works for you. But for me, what works the most consistent is, for example, that someone is scouting me. Okay, so what I mean by that is, for example, that I play Face It. If you play Face It, you're gonna say, oh yeah, okay, I'm playing normal match, Face It. But I'm trying to say that, okay, maybe, for example, someone from the higher orcs or someone is scouting me. They're watching my demo. And so every second counts, and every counter strike that I make is precise. And as I said, sometimes it's not work, but it gives me that healthy stress that someone is having an eye on me and I need to perform, right? And that's something that works for me a lot. There is other things like, for example, now I need to perform, or whatever you say that kind of like stresses you in a healthy way, not like, as I said, being overwhelmed. And I think this concept is really cool, and I think you should apply it, and this will definitely makes you a better player, and this will higher your chance to peak performance in esports. Have a nice day, guys.